I'm AJ.
I'm Satin.
And welcome to Rooted in Real, where genuine conversation meets grounded perspective. Look at us. Getting it right again.
I did it. You did
it. Y'all wait till the blooper reel comes out on this one. It took us, what? Almost 2 minutes to do the intro, but here we are.
I can't help it, man. I'm an animated laugher.
You are. And once you start...
Laugher.
And once you start laughing, it does not quit.
It does not quit.
Okay, but welcome to episode 10.
Episode 10
of the Rooted in Real podcast.
Yes.
Thank y'all for joining us. Thanks for coming back. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Okay, so follow, please. We got other places for you to follow. Please do so.
And listen to us on Apple, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Spotify. And iHeartRadio or iHeart Podcast.
This one been working. She's been putting it everywhere.
Yeah, putting it everywhere. You ain't got no reason. Watch and listen.
All right, so episode 10.
Yes.
We are calling it Expectations versus Reality. Marriage edition.
Yes.
There it is. So the realistic expectations of marriage.
Right.
Because I don't think I had realistic. I just thought it was going to be rainbows and kittens, baby.
Right.
Rainbows and kittens.
I didn't have any expectations at all. I mean, in my defense, I was actually trying not to get married. So, you know.
Po man.
That's my boo now, but he had to work for it.
You was running from that man.
That's why he won't let me go.
Can't go nowhere. But so we're just going to talk about what we thought marriage was going to be like,
yes,
and then what it turned out to be.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of people just feel like love is enough.
Yeah.
Like, I love you. But we don't have any other deeper conversations about what life is going to be like.
That's right.
But okay, so I found this Reddit article specifically with somebody asking, what do realistic expectations of marriage look like? So this person says, I'm going to read it. I keep seeing posts about people getting or being disillusioned about marriage once they get married. And yeah, all I have to go on when it comes to romance is Disney and Bridgerton. And that'll have you disillusioned.
Terrible
sure.
ideas.
Especially Disney, man.
I mean,
everything seems like a happily ever after on Disney, but literally there's toxicity
so much,
and trauma involved.
Murder.
Yes. Anyway. And they say, I want to get married, but I also don't want to be disappointed about what comes after. I have family, good friends, and a career I'm working on, but I still long for a spouse. However, I don't know if what I'm longing for is attainable. So I'm here to ask, what are realistic expectations of marriage? Is there anything that surprised you when you got married? Is all the effort you put, both in finding a spouse and maintaining a marriage, worth it?
That's right.
So this one person had all kinds of stuff to say, y'all. It was so good, though. But the first thing was, most people get married believing a myth. They believe that marriage is a beautiful box full of things they have longed for: companionship, intimacy, friendship, etc. The truth is that marriage at the start is an empty box. You must put something in before you can take anything out.
That's right. You got to do the work.
That's my most favorite part of this article.
Yes, sweat equity.
Ooh. Yes, sweat equity.
Put some sweat equity.
Because you think that like all these things are just going to show up and happen for you to start with.
Right.
But what really happens is you have to put in the work. You have to put something in the box. You have to put the trust, the loyalty, the honesty. Like you have to put all the communication. You have to put it all in the box so that you have something to draw on when things do get harder.
Right. And I think you need to have an idea of what those things are as an individual before you even can request those from another person. Do you know? Do you already have those things attained, or do you already have an understanding of what those things are before you start trying to implement that or, force that on someone else? Because if you don't know, then how can you ask somebody else? That's right.
You're right. And another part they said, let me see. It was a good thing. Oh, this one, marriage is the hardest thing I've done, but it's a beautiful challenge.
It is.
Because, like I said, you think it's just going to be easy. Like, we love each other. It's cool.
Right.
Everything's going to be roses. It's going to be fine. Rainbows and kittens. Rainbows and kittens. But what it really is hard work to maintain a healthy marriage.
Right. And I think it's because, I know it's because you're fusing two separate personalities, two separate lives, upbringings, trauma, drama, maybe not even any of that, but you're separated. You have two people, individuals that have their own mind, will, and emotions, and you're bringing them together and asking them to be one. And if you're a person that has rarely compromised in your life or rarely had to compromise, marriage is a huge compromise.
Yes, because usually, like I think I've said before, like with my friends and stuff, there was no compromising. There were no disagreements. There was no arguments or anything like that. So then when it comes to me building a life with someone, though, there might be some compromise and some things that we don't agree on just based on how we were both raised and the way that we have grown to think about things.
Right. Give
but you have
and
to be
take.
ready for that.
You have to be ready.
And this person, this was the last good thing I like about this one is personally, my marriage helped me to realize I had some anger issues. Something that you don't know
Right.
ahead of time.
Right.
Because you think that the way you've been acting is normal behavior.
Right.
Because no one's told you it's not.
Right. Even if you have friends and, in other relationships or you've been at work and they might tell you, oh, you have anger issues, you don't really take their opinion or their thought to heart. Even in friendships, you're like, okay, that's my friend. They just saying that, but, blah, blah, blah. But when you get married, you have to seriously consider what your spouse brings to the table. And if they bring something about your personality or your character or the way that you've been operating or doing things, you have to take that in consideration because that can make or break your relationship.
The whole relationship. Because if you come at me and you're yelling at me and I'm like, hey, Satin, I don't really like when you talk to me like that.
Right.
Like if we're going to have a discussion, I like it to be cool, calm, collected. Like maybe we take a break and you say, well, no, I'm just not talking to you. So now you're giving me the silent treatment or you're yelling at me or we just arguing for the sake of arguing, but with no resolution to the problem.
Right.
But that's what you're used to. Maybe that's what you saw growing up.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how your parents acted or your mom acted with other people. Like she's like, I ain't gonna talk to him then.
Right.
And getting you to do the silent treatment too.
And I know from my experience, and I know we talk about trauma bonding or trauma a lot on this podcast or dysfunction of things. I was brought up in an era where you were to be seen and not heard. And you were meant to stay out of grown folks' business and you were meant to be quiet. And so
stay in a child's place.
So what happened to me as I've gotten older, and in different relationships, especially in marriage, when something would happen that would, maybe be outside my comfort zone or it was, confrontational, even though I'm, again, not afraid of confrontation, I'd be like, well, I don't got nothing to say, so I'm just going to shut down. And my shutdown would be like, we're not talking about it. You can talk about it all you want to, but I'm tuned out.
I'm not listening. I'm not responding. I'm not doing none of that.
Right. I ain't heard nothing you said. Keep on talking. And then later, when you calm down and you come back to it, you be like, did you hear what I said? Man,
I told you I
Joker,
wasn't
I ain't
listening.
heard nothing you said. I ain't heard nothing you said. When did we have this conversation? I done tuned out. And that's also, this is a side note, but that's also how I operate. Like if I have a disagreement with someone that leads to a falling out, I remember what was said. I remember how we fell out. I remember all those things, but it doesn't negatively, I'm sure it does negatively affect me in some kind of way, but it doesn't openly or, negatively affect me. So I don't think about it. Like if me and you done got into an argument or we had a disagreement and say you're, that's my spouse, it might still be affecting your psyche. I need to figure out how to work this out.
Yeah.
And my thought, I done moved on. And then you come to me and you like, we had this discussion and it got really heated. I was like, did it? And you be like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I can see from your perspective how it got heated. So what do we need to fix? We need to fix it.
Because you done moved on.
And I'm like, do we really need to fix that? That just seems like a lot of work for nothing. Like,
but see, that's also the whole thing about conflict resolution.
that's what I'm saying. Who know how to resolve conflict when you just move on from it?
All the time.
Nobody.
That's what you used to do.
All the time.
Dang.
Therapy tells you otherwise.
It does tell you otherwise.
Spiritual counseling and being in God and learning God's ways.
It will teach you that you need to figure out the root of the problem so that you can then change.
That's right. Resolve,
reconcile, all the things.
All of the things. And marriage will absolutely show you, is that word? Show you what you need to work on and why you need to work on it. Not because it's just something wrong with you, but there's a better way to do things when there's more than one person involved.
Yes.
Yeah.
It always is.
Yeah.
Now, I did want to say one more thing from this great article because there was somebody else that spoke, that wrote something right after this person with this whole detailed long thing. They gave this person real good advice. It said, it's basically just doing all the usual stuff. Cooking, cleaning, groceries, et cetera, that you would do by yourself, but with another person helping or adding to the load.
Yeah.
LOL. If you get lucky, it's like living with your best friend. It's like you have someone who is forced to hang out with you no matter what. In my opinion, it's great.
Right. And I mentioned this before we started the podcast, and I hope I can remember exactly what I said. Because
she always says something really good before the camera's rolling, and I'm like, stop talking.
Yeah.
Say it when the camera's on. And she never remembers to say it when the camera's on.
I never remember what
Let's see if she can do it this time, y'all.
We'll see if we can do it this time. But basically what I was saying is that in a marriage, or when I got married, there wasn't anything that I thought I couldn't do by myself, but were there things I couldn't do by myself? Yes. Did I think that? No.
But you was independent. You ain't need no man.
I ain't need nobody. INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means? That's me. But what I realized when I got married is that it's important to have somebody not just bear the physical load, but the mental and emotional and spiritual load. Mm-hmm. The whole point in being two and becoming one, being equally yoked, someone being weaker, someone being stronger at varying points in a relationship is to maybe merge, to become better, to grow, to learn. And in a marriage, I think that is a great foundation to do so. And so some of the things that I appreciate is that, yeah, there is another person that can wash and, you know, pick up the kids and do all of those things without even, as your husband mentioned earlier, without even saying anything. And I have been blessed in my marriage to do so. I do have a great partner. I have someone that I don't have to say those things to. Now, was that always the case in the beginning? No, because he was his own independent individual and I was my own independent individual.
Right.
And we had our way of doing things. But when we got married, it took a little while, I believe, I want to say, for him to adjust to the doing things together. Not because he didn't know how to or anything like that. He just really wanted to take the weight off of me. And I looked at it more like a burden, more so than him helping me.
Like we needed to do it together, not just you take over everything. Just you want to do it with
because I was
with me, not for me.
That's right. Because I was so independent, I didn't want someone to give me the opportunity to be more independent. I needed someone to allow me to lean on them, and I needed someone
that soft side.
Yeah, I needed a soft side, and that's let me tell you something. The soft side still hasn't came up.
You sure?
There have been remnants of the soft side. I feel like I've been teased with the soft side. I feel like it come in, I'm like, shut it down. No. Not gonna happen. And actually, my cousin, he's a pastor in the area where we live at. He was like, the Lord is gonna let that come out. I was like, He's gonna work on me to get that out because I've been fighting that joker. Whoo! Me and Jesus, we've been going at it. I'm like, I don't need to cry.
I'm ready to see soft satin.
I ain't ready to see it. I ain't ready to see it. If any of y'all know me, y'all know that's gonna be a battle. Whoo! Either I'm gonna cry all the time or I ain't gonna cry at all. I don't know what it's gonna be.
We'll see. Maybe you won't need to cry.
Maybe I won't need to cry.
Or you'll feel safe enough to cry.
I will feel safe enough to cry.
That's the whole thing about feeling the softness and the femininity is being able to be a woman and be comforted by the spouse.
Right.
That the Lord chose for you.
That's right. That He chose for me. And I believe that will come to pass once I surrender. And that's the key thing. In marriage, surrendering is important. You know, I know we confuse that word with submissiveness. Submission. And the word submissiveness has such a bad connotation, but as strong as I am in my mind, my will, my emotions, as independent as I am, my husband is still the head of my household, and I still submit to him. Now, do I seem like I submit to him? Nobody that knows me feels like my brother will be the main one to tell people, no, she don't, not to her husband.
And see, I think you do.
I do. But he says that because he knows my personality. He knows my true intent personality. But he also knows that I do submit to my husband. If I didn't, how would I be married for so long?
I also think that submission doesn't, we off topic, we don't get back.
Yeah,
we're going to circle back. But I think submission doesn't necessarily mean that you can't still be an independent person.
That's right. It doesn't.
But you take you're listening and taking what your husband has to say into account.
It's a level of respect that I think other people shouldn't get.
Right.
That's what I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, you might submit to your leader or, the person that has authority on your job, but not in the same way that you would your husband.
Yeah. Yep. Which also then leads to the whole idea that the man has to be right.
Right. He has to be, yes, he has to be someone that you're willing to follow.
To submit to.
Right. And my husband is very much that.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed in that arena. And so when we start talking about someone to bear the weight of the physical things in the house, picking up the kids, fixing dinner, washing clothes, and doing those things. Does he have to do those? No. Do I even ask or require him to do those? No. But he is someone that has stepped up over the years because I made it known through communication. Check out the last episode, Communication and Attachment Styles. That was something that I may need when I become overwhelmed, especially in the latter years of us being married because my health wasn't what it used to be. Now, when we married, I was really young, so I was a lot more healthy. We only had one kid, but then when we had that second kid, things happen and your body just, doesn't adjust well. And once I needed him to step up more, yes, I had to make that known. Should he have seen it? No, because things have always been handled. He never seen a need to step in and do those things. And it was my job to handle the things that we established in marriage counseling, what I would do, what he would do, and what we would do together.
And if you're going to change the way that happens, then you need to
communicate. You have to have a conversation
you
about.
Can't just expect people to just decide.
That's
and
right.
know what you need and when you need to change.
That's
you
right.
Need to say, hey, I need this to change. I know we
Right.
agreed on this, that, and the third, but now
Right.
I need this. Can we work together
That's
on that?
right. And so your expectations versus, the reality versus what it
I
is.
feel like I'm out of my frame. Let me get
Oh
it.
yeah.
My bad.
All of those expectations changes based
Yes.
off of your reality because your reality changes.
It changes all the time.
all the time. Yep.
Unfortunately, for some of us, changes all the time.
All the time. Yes.
Okay, so you got an article.
Okay, yes, I have an article, and we may link this one, and it's just a very basic article, but it's the 12 expectations in marriage.
12 common marriage expectations.
12 common marriage expectations. Jesus help me.
One day she's gonna be able to talk, y'all.
You
It's
know
okay.
what? Let's not count on it. Let's not count on it at all. We know that I don't know how to speak English, and if you have watched any of the other episodes, and if you are to watch the episodes that we've recorded and not posted, I don't speak very good English. Words do not have proper meaning. I do not say the words properly.
You wait till you watch when she said ethnicity wrong.
Oh my God. Oh
She
my
was like,
God.
why? She watched it back and said, "Why can't I say ethnicity?" I'm like, I'm
Why
sorry,
can I
friend.
not say that?
I'm
I know
sorry.
why I can't say it. You know why I can't say it. My mind is trash right now.
You're trying.
You're trying. I'm
You're
trying.
trying.
It's an uphill battle. But anyway,
It is.
the key thing that this article talks about, it says the thing with expectations is that we usually don't even realize we have them until they are not met.
That is so true.
That is
so
true.
true. And you feel like once it's happening and the expectation isn't being met, then you feel like, why aren't you doing these
Right.
things?
Right. You
Because
didn't even
you
know you were
already
expecting.
thought.
Yep.
Like you just assumed this was going to happen, but you didn't even know that you assumed it was going to happen.
That's right.
So now
That's
you're like,
crazy.
well, why aren't you doing the thing that I assumed you should know that I want you to do?
Right.
What? Do you know how crazy that sounds when you hear it, when you say it back?
Wait a minute, but side note, this goes on top with that. So, the pastor at your church, I remember we had some kind of talent show or something. I can't remember. It might have been watch night or something. I don't know. But anyway, she asked me to be the MC. Because, I talk all the time.
Yeah. You
But
good at that.
she asked me to be the MC, and I remember saying over the mic something along the lines of, in order to be, in order to sit up under her, in order to work with her and to really know her, you need to know what she wants before she knows what she wants. And I said that as a joke, but I meant it wholeheartedly, like,
Yeah.
like a pure from my heart. Like the reason why is because when you spend time with somebody enough,
You do learn.
you do learn things that you didn't even think you subconsciously,
Yeah. And it ends up being the little things.
Right, it's the little things. And I just remember, even though I didn't spend a lot of time with her in the church setting, I spent a lot of time with her outside the church setting. And so she was
learned a
always
lot.
the same inside the church and outside the church. So it made it easier for me to pick up, some of the things that she likes to do. Yeah, some of the cues that she likes to do. Her and her husband are very organized and very business proficient and not in a bad way. I'm talking about in such a joyous way. If you can learn and
Yeah.
learn from them, I'm telling you, you will be like set up for life. And so some of those things that I took in without them even knowing, because I am a student. I truly am a student.
All the time.
All the time. I mean,
Constant learning. My
yes,
word.
if you know something and I come in contact with you,
I know it too.
I know it too, because I'm going to grasp it because, again, nosiness.
Nosy.
The more you're nosy, the more you seek knowledge, the more you seek out, skills, even if you don't utilize them, even if they're not important to you. My thought has always been, even if I don't need it or I can use it, there is somebody that I'm going
There's
to come
somebody
in
that you're going to affect in
right,
that way.
that's going to need it, that's going to
Yes.
need that. And so anyway, being around her, there were so many things that I would pick up, and there are a couple people in your ministry that also pick up on those things. Dr. Amy is one of them. She, she's extremely intelligent anyway.
She is.
But she picked up on a lot of things. She picks up on a lot of things with people anyway. But I just noticed, okay, like this is something I need to make note of. This is something I need to make note of. This is something I need to make note of. And so I just kept paying attention to these things. And I do the same thing in my marriage. And the expectation that I had is that my spouse would also do that for me.
Yeah.
Because I do that in my
Yes.
everyday life with the people that I come in contact with.
But
But
did you tell him that?
I didn't. That's the thing. I didn't tell him that. I had this unrealistic expectation that he would do the same thing that I did, but he never had to. He might have picked up on social cues, but it wasn't imperative for his survival.
Right.
See, for me, I need to learn people quickly to learn if they're friend or foe. That's the survival skill.
Yeah, the survival.
And so
of it.
anytime I come in contact with a person, I automatically, size them up in every way possible is this someone that's going to be friend or foe? And he's never had to do that. He just willingly go on about his life.
Everybody a friend till they're a foe.
Everybody a friend till they foe, and I'm like, everybody a foe till they a friend.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm like, I'm neutral. You can be in the middle till I decide which category you go in.
No, you Freddy Krueger until I decide that you. What's a Disney character?
Cinderella.
No, Cinderella. See, let me tell you something about Cinderella.
Nah, don't you start.
Okay, don't talk about them. Don't talk about them.
I mean the black version.
Oh, okay.
Well, I say black, but you got Cinderella, and then you got the boy with his Asian dad. It was a weird situation. His white dad.
Who
black
did the
mama,
casting?
He was Asian.
Who did the casting? Brandy was phenomenal, but who did the casting?
She did a good job, but yeah.
Okay.
But it's
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yes, the expectations. I did not relate those expectations
you didn't talk
to him,
about it.
but I do think it's important to, the more time you spend with the person, to sense what they need, to take into account, and to put it, on your imaginary chalkboard.
Yeah.
And to keep track of it so that
when something comes up,
something
you know
comes
what to
up, right? And then it lessens the opportunity for the enemy to come in and bring division.
Yeah, I get that. It's almost like when you say that you do those things, right?
Yeah.
You do it because you love him.
That's right.
So you expect him to also do the same things that you do because you expect him to love you the same way.
That's right. And the way he loves me is totally different. Yes.
As we talked about in our love languages episode.
Yes.
It's different.
It's absolutely
different. But if he doesn't know that's what you really need,
yes,
he ain't gonna do it.
And you have to be clear. Let me say,
he, she, that they ain't gonna do it.
That's right. My kids really take after their daddy. If you don't say it,
we real literal around here.
They literal around here.
That's what William says about me and Jackson.
I've told you this. I've told you this so many times. You and my oldest daughter. If I didn't know who your mama was, I would say
that you was it.
That you could be my child. Because God, y'all
I just feel like I shouldn't have to figure out the nuances of everything you say. If you say the sky is blue, why would I assume it's green?
Yeah.
Because you thought I should assume it.
Yeah.
Based on what you said.
Yeah.
No, I heard what you said and you said what you said. And I heard what you said and I meant what you said and I got it.
Right.
The sky's blue.
I need you to dissect and I need you to think ahead. See, forethought. And y'all don't operate like that.
Ain't necessary.
Yeah. Y'all
not
don't
all the
operate
time.
like that.
I do it sometimes, but I do it when it's necessary. But I always feel like sometimes when I'm having a conversation, like, I gotta do all that work.
Yeah, you take a break. My brain is full blast.
I take a break.
Yeah, my brain full blast. And my oldest, she's exactly the same way. And I remember telling you, I was like, let me pick your brain for something. And you told me, you did.
She asked me a scenario. Yeah. And then she was like, what would you do in this scenario?
Right.
Or how would you react? So I tell her, and I think her daughter did the exact same thing.
Yeah, she did the exact same thing. And I was like, she probably thought I was coming to her because she was my friend. No, I was coming to her because, like, my child, she act like this.
I need help.
I need help. I need help from somebody that also act like this to see how it's finna turn out, see whether or not I'm finna be.
And she did exactly what I said she would do.
Yeah, I did.
That's what I would do.
I did. I said, am I gonna be patient or I'm gonna go off and act up? You said you probably won't go off and act up, but you know,
shouldn't.
But you shouldn't. And I was like, okay. And I remember going through the situation with my daughter, and it wasn't a bad situation, but going through the situation with my daughter, and I was trying to pace myself as I was doing it, and I was like, okay. And in my head, I was
AJ
running.
help me out. I'm ready.
AJ said, don't do this, but don't do this. And so I was telling her, so she was waiting like, what's wrong with
waiting
her?
for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, waiting for her mama.
Yeah, to show up in the conversation.
Not for somebody else to come up, and then later when we had the conversation, she's like, what was going through your mind? Like, what was going on? And I told her, and she was like, who did you talk to? Did somebody help you with this? Because that is not how you were responding. I said, yes. I said, AJ helped me. And she was like, go to her again. Like, go to her again.
I got you, boo.
See, my child is my little friend now. My oldest is my little friend now.
She old as dirt. She can be your little friend
Yeah,
now.
she my little friend. She's like, go to her again. You need to go to her again. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. But expectations.
In any relationship.
In any relationship,
Yes.
She was very
you gotta
literal.
Communicate it.
And my kids are exactly like their dad, and their dad was like, so I have to spell a lot out, and it's so much mental work for me.
Exhausting.
So exhausting.
So I'm like, why I gotta do all the work for you to tell me what you want to tell me?
Yeah.
I do the work when I want to tell you things.
Yeah.
You do the work when you want to tell me things.
No. I've had a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah. I think William has too.
In these 20 plus years.
I think
I've had a hard lesson. It's
that poor man. He's like, really? You didn't think? I'm like, no, I didn't.
Right.
But listen.
What they say, take you through there, they took me through there. They took me through there, man.
Take me through there.
That's why the Lord I be knocking me upside my head. I be like, I don't want to do that way. That don't seem right. He be like, yeah, that's the right way. That's the right way. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna try to go through these 12 expectations of marriage, but we'll probably end up doing some now and then some in the next episode.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So tune in for the rest. Thanks.
Yes.
Leave you on a cliffhanger.
Come back.
All right, you do the first
All
one.
right. First one, the first common marriage expectation is money. Spender versus saver. Will we join our bank accounts? Your money, my money, our money.
Yeah.
Who will manage our money? You, me, us.
Yeah.
What will we spend our money on? What do we need to check with what do we need to check with the other before spending? What are our savings goals?
I think people, when you get married, you're just like, oh, we'll just combine our money and move on.
Right, and move on.
But a lot of people, they do, like, we already have our own separate accounts.
Yes.
So some people will say, well, I'll keep that one. I'll keep this one. You keep that one. Then we'll make a joint one for our bills.
Yeah,
we'll
we
have
did
a joint
that.
savings account.
We did that.
Right. So then you can still, if I want to buy you a present,
Right.
I can buy it out of my account and you
Right.
don't know about it.
Yeah,
You know,
we did
keep a surprise. It's my fun money over here.
Right.
Right. You got your fun money over there. All the good money goes here.
Right.
But you also have to have discussions about how much we're going to save. Because in my head, we need 6 months of expenses.
Right.
In a savings account.
Right.
But because I'm the saver.
That's right.
But if you're the spender,
Right.
you're like, I mean, what, about 1,000 good enough, ain't it? And then we
Yeah.
can spend the rest.
Right.
But if we don't discuss it, now there's animosity and resentment.
There is.
And then if I say, hey, we need to have a limit. Like if we're gonna spend more than $250,
Right.
we should probably discuss that with each other.
We absolutely should discuss that.
I mean, you know, if you got money like that, maybe it's
I
higher
mean,
for you or
maybe
whatever.
you don't get
but
them.
like, you know, that's just an arbitrary number of like $250. Maybe we should have a discussion with each other before that thing is bought. Because that also will lead to resentment if you decide up here and spend $500 on something. And I'm like, hey, whoa, where you get that money from?
Right.
Because first of all, in my head, we don't have enough money in savings. You didn't spend $500, but you also don't know that I want you to put money in savings because I ain't
Yeah,
said nothing.
yeah. You know
the
what comes to-
expectation was not given.
You know what comes to mind is that episode of Martin where he buys that television of Hashitashi. Hashitashi. Hashitashi.
Right. But like, he didn't say she was
Then he
mad.
had all them speeding tickets. And see, I'm not going to rehash the
Yeah,
episode,
we're not
but it was a
rehash.
really good episode. And money is the number one catalyst for people for the breakdown in
divorce,
marriage.
yes.
For breakdown in marriage. And so there has to be a spender. There has to be savers. I think both of you should be spenders and savers when necessary. You should combine. There should be a compromise.
It should be, yeah. Because
It
one
should-
person, like I said, one person being like, we should just save everything. And the other one, like, we should spend everything. Like,
Right.
that'll break down a marriage real fast, too.
Right. Yeah, and we did, like me and my husband, we did have separate accounts and we did have, you know, our joint accounts. But that was my wanting to do that. He is 100%, whatever I got is yours. If I got 10 accounts, you got 10 accounts, you own them. And I'm like, that's great and all. But how long this thing gonna last?
That's great and all.
You know, how long? I'm just saying.
Oh, my Lord.
Again, this was.
I mean, I get it, because
This was
you plan, you know, if you don't plan.
You got to plan for the downfall.
You fail to plan, you plan to fail.
That's right. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. That is from Daddy Mosley.
Goodness.
That's
a
my
lot of
cousin.
peas.
Yeah, it's a lot of peas. I bet you won't forget it. And
I
I
won't.
haven't. I hadn't since he taught it to us. I hadn't.
Yeah.
But you know, it's important to already have that established. You know what you're going to do. And my husband was, what's mine is yours.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours, and what's ours is ours. And so he's just operated it. If I got a secret account or I got an account separate, that's fine. He doesn't, you know, because he's taking, you know, our divide in our household financially. He takes care of all the responsibilities financially, but we also made it a point that when we got married, an expectation that we had is how are we, or a hard line that we set is how are we going to divide the bills if we're going to divide the bills, which is what we discussed in marriage counseling. And it was always make sure that our living can be taken care of by one person, and that we don't live above our means or outside our means, and we never have.
And that is a smart financial tip. When
It
you
is.
decide to get with somebody, don't base everything based on the fact that, oh, we got 2 incomes, we can do this, that, and the third. You need to live off one,
Right.
save on one, use
Right.
vacations for one. Like, you got one
Yeah.
that you do, you know, the important
If
things.
possible.
Yeah, if possible.
possible, yeah.
You got one that you do all the important things on, keep the roof over your head and all that, and the other one
Right.
you use to save and build your future with.
Right, and then still make sure that even with that one person that you're not living right at the max of your means,
Right.
because if something happens or occurs,
Yeah.
you know, and generally, you know, I believe that the Lord has blessed our marriage because of the prayers and the fasting and all the things that we've done, you know, prior to and during our marriage to establish that he's always been the healthier one. My husband doesn't get sick, illness doesn't come to him. Every now and then he might get like a little something in his throat when the weather changed, but he doesn't get sick. And I, on the other hand, do. you know, and I hadn't always been that way, but later on after we had our second kid, a lot of things adjusted and changed. And so, you know, he's always been the one that's healthy. And I've always said that I believe that the Lord has kept him healthy because, you know, God already knows, but there was going to be things that occurred that I was not going to be able to take on that. And you could look at that like, why would the Lord make you sick? But I also felt like it was because the Lord wanted to make me less independent and more dependent upon.
Trying to bring this softness that we talked about at the
And I've
beginning,
been
trying to
fighting.
bring it out of you.
Yeah, we discussed this earlier, obedience and disobedience and rebellion. Which one am I? Take a guess.
I said rebellion.
Yeah.
I think you, and when we talked about it, I said, so
Yeah.
she was like, and I ain't had nobody to rebel against. I said, so you chose to rebel against God?
Well, I mean, if you
When you know you're going to lose the fight, you chose to rebel against God?
I be telling people, if you're going to fight a Goliath, which Goliath can you fight? Dumb. Just dumb.
Dumb.
Don't follow.
Don't follow her,
Because we
no.
already know that rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. So, you know, had to get that straight real quick.
Get some straightening.
Get some straightening.
All right. Number two. Romance and affection. So this is about asking how often will we be intimate? You know, grown folks intimate.
Yeah.
What's okay and what's not?
Right.
Non-sexual intimacy versus sexual intimacy, and then PDA, cuddling. Like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Because you got one person, let's say your physical touch,
Yeah.
and you like to hold my hand in public,
Right.
and I'm like, ooh, see, I think that's weird.
Yeah,
I
that's
think we should
private.
keep all of that in the house.
Right.
That's something that you should know and expect and talk about. Like you don't expect that from somebody. You talk about it, then you can expect it. You have to communicate.
Consent is key.
You have to communicate how you feel about that and how you want to be. You know, do you like to be cuddled, or do you prefer, like in the bed? Do you like to be separated, or do you want to start off together and then separate later on? Do you like, hey, I don't want to touch you. Like, I don't even want my toes touching you because I get hot and
In marriage, the bed is undefiled, ma'am. We're not getting in that topic because this is a PG podcast.
PG, but
It's a
undefiled is a great word for that.
Yeah, the bed is undefiled.
I think I can agree.
Long as y'all two consent
Touch
to
and
the door,
agree.
touch and agree. Amen. Amen.
Touch and agree.
I mean, you got to touch and agree, guys. It'd be fruitful, multiply.
Yes, but you also need to decide, you know, how often
Yeah.
we're doing this. Like, if one person's expecting it to be every other
Right.
day, and the other one like, listen, I can give you about twice a week.
Yeah, but you got to be spontaneous, man. You can't just be scheduled. Okay, that's another topic. We just get on that
I'm not
another
saying it needs to be scheduled.
Come back in, Satin.
But
Come
I'm
back
saying
in.
there are some people who just don't want to do it that often.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't want to be involved that often. They just like, listen, like, I like you, I love you, you cool, but I'm cool on that.
I'm telling you, if I married you, I'm physically attracted to you. And physical attraction shall abound because the bed is undefiled.
Shall abound. Now, y'all need to write that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Physical attraction shall abound.
It shall abound. I need to become one with you in the natural. I need some praise and worship.
You do. That's what deep intercession.
Deep intercession.
Yep, we do
Those
call
are
it
the
that.
names you use when you're discussing romantic activities in front of
Others.
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 Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I do. You know, maybe other people don't do it. I think we had a discussion the first time, and I said that to you. You said, what?
I said, what? And she was like, you call yours deep intercession. I was
Yeah.
like, you right.
You right.
That's a good one.
All right, you becoming one with your spouse. I mean, it sounds crazy, but that's what
it's
you
important
do.
and necessary.
It is.
to
And
keep
the,
a marriage
the
alive.
more you're physically connected with someone, and that's a whole nother deeper topic of soul ties, but the more you're deeply connected with someone, you become like-minded with them. You become soul. Your souls connect. Your physical bodies don't just connect. You know, you're with them and every other person that they've been with. And so, you know, unless the soul tie has been destroyed and, you know, purification, all those things have occurred, you know, so you're connecting with the person on a romantic level.
Very deep level.
Right. So there are some expectations that need to be discussed because if I know you in that light, then I need to have an understanding of what you're bringing to the table romantically so that I can know, okay, once we intertwine into deep intersection, then I'm going to take on those things. And you're going to take on those things for me. Intertwined. Connected.
All these words. You see, you can tell that she was ready for this topic. She been waiting on this bullet point to come up.
I'm always ready for deep intersection. Look, let me tell you, man, you got to be healthy.
You got to be healthy, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shown to, you know, keep your skin glowing.
Yeah.
Then you just tell me my skin look good.
I did. Your skin looks amazing. It
Can y'all see
does.
it?
I mean, we discussed in a couple episodes before where someone said they thought you were a dermatologist. It really does
This
look
random
good.
girl at the nail shop thought I was a dermatologist
Yeah.
because my skin looked so good. I was like, ooh, boo.
And then I asked you, I was like, do you have on makeup? And you were like, no. And I was like, it looks so good.
Right, I was like,
Not
all I did
that
was
you-
wash my face and put on coconut oil.
Not that you don't, but I
tell
mean-
Haley I put coconut oil on my face. She already told me to stop.
Yeah, don't.
But
Because she's, you know, don't. I just told you don't tell nobody. You keep telling people. I don't have no routine.
I don't have a routine right now. We're gonna work on that.
Yeah, we're
gonna film it, we're gonna do it, we're gonna talk about it and help
Yeah.
everybody else get, into their feminine era just like we're trying to do.
Yeah. We need to look up like.
Because I'm not either.
Look, I need a lip combo for my skin
Ooh.
complexion.
You know I can't help you, but okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Put it out there to the
I can't
people.
help me. I can't help me. I need some kind of, and it can't be complicated, and I can't be going to buy no expensive products. But I just, because I'm, because of health wise, my mouth and my lips and stuff are always dry, and so Carmex ain't doing it. All of the other things
Ain't
that I've
doing the
tried,
job.
they ain't doing Fenty Beauty, which is fantastic, by the way, and it does work. But I need something simple. I need a lip combo. So anybody in the comments that know anything about it, I need to ask Haley, but
Help us to stop.
Haley's skin complexion is brighter than mine.
She is lighter than you.
Yeah, she is lighter than me.
But
so
she might be able to tell you how to how to get
yeah,
there.
I need to do it. I need a bomb lip combo. Now, am I gonna do it all the time? Probably not. But
How you gonna ask for advice and then be like, but I ain't gonna do it though.
right, I'm gonna do it, just not all the time. Like maybe when we get on camera here, or if I do something, so my lips look.
But maybe they would be better if you did this kind of thing all the time.
Yeah, look,
for
no,
them, 'cause
look,
they're dry.
look. We have already
Oh,
established.
you're right. Mhm.
Yeah, that's
No.
too much. Low maintenance.
Yes.
I'm low
Ooh,
maintenance.
listen. So we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop here,
Okay.
and then we're gonna do the other ones
At the
in
next
our
episode.
next episode.
Okay, that's good. That's good because we still have 3. Let's see, in-laws, extended family, kids, holiday celebration, chores.
Yeah, it's like 9 of them. So
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna
got
do
like
this in the
9
next
of 'em.
episode.
Yeah, we'll do this on the next episode.
So, like I said, leave you on a cliffhanger.
That's good. That's right. That's right.
But y'all make sure to drop in the comments some stuff to help this girl with her skin.
My skin is perfectly
I'm sorry,
fine.
her lips.
My skin is supple.
I be forgetting I'm on camera.
you got to change your face, and I got to quit laughing with my mouth wide open. 'Cause
And
this
I
is
laugh with my
crazy.
eyes closed. I'm
You
gonna
do.
tell
You do.
like
You
I'm
do.
Asian. I don't have that. I don't know.
do.
My eyes closed.
You do. So this wraps up our episode on 12 common marriage expectations.
Okay.
For this.
For
We'll do
part
part
one.
2. Yeah, part one. And we'll do part 2 in our next episode.
Yep.
So thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you guys next
Next week.